Hi everyone, and welcome to the first lecture of the chapter. In this lecture, we're going to talk about how companies, at a high level, make money. So let's get started. In general, companies make money by providing products and/or services to people. Products are something that companies make. We usually think of these as items, objects, or devices that we can use for something. For example, your phone, your car, and your clothes are all examples of products. Products can be sold to people, who are also known as consumers. Now, services, on the other hand, are something that a company does for you. For example, an Uber or taxi provides a service which is driving you around. A gardening service comes and maintains your garden for a fee, and a cell phone provider gives you the ability to make and receive calls and texts. Services can also be sold to people. Now, companies can provide both products and services, which in turn generate money for the company. The money generated from products and services makes up a company's revenue streams. These can be thought of as their money-making streams. So you might be wondering, okay, well, I'm not a big company, so how does this relate to me? And there are really three reasons that it does. The first is that if you can develop a product or service that many people want, then you can sell your product or service and make lots of money. Now, this of course is quite difficult because it involves having this great idea and then actually executing on it. But if you have an idea that you think you could build a business off of, that business has the potential to be much more lucrative than any sort of job where you're working for someone else, for the most part, ever could be. Now, the second point is a little bit more interesting and is more relevant to us. And it comes from the fact that most companies usually have multiple products or services that bring in revenue. So if you can figure out how to have multiple money-making input streams, that is, many different ways you can make money, then you don't need to rely on one job to bring in that $300,000 a year. Instead, you could have 10 different jobs that each make you $30,000 a year. So this seems like a slightly more manageable task, except that you probably don't have time to work 10 different jobs. And that's a good point, and we'll come back to that later. But for now, let's just assume we can handle having 10 different jobs. Then making $300,000 a year at least seems possible. And the third point, when we look at big companies that is relevant to us, is that companies have employees, which means that they have many people working towards a common goal. And that common goal involves making money. So if you're here watching these videos, that means that you're eager to learn and want to figure out how to become financially free. By financially free, I mean that you don't want to worry about money. An important lesson you should learn from this section is that you don't need to try and do everything alone to be successful. In fact, surrounding yourself with people who share your dream, whether it's making money, building a product or brand, or even a company, is a fantastic way to achieve your dreams. At some point, you will probably need to combine forces with like-minded people because they will bring something to the table that you don't have. It is also by working with people that you're able to have 10 different jobs. That is, if you have 10 people and they're each doing the amount of work that you could do for a given job, but they are also working for or with you, then collectively you have the power to perform 10 different jobs. Of course, this is not quite the same as you having 10 different jobs, since you might only earn a fraction of the amount of money that someone in your group of 10 makes. However, even if we can only make a third of what each person on our team would make, and if each of them made $100,000 per year, then you would profit roughly $33,000 per year per person, which equals about $330,000 per year. Again, this is not easy to set up and build, but it gets us thinking about things in a bit of a different way that makes it seem more feasible for one person to work 10 different jobs. So that covers our key principles for how big companies, as well as the 1%, are able to make so much money. First, they sell products or services that people want. Second, they have many relatively small income streams that together combine to make a large income stream. And third, they have like-minded people coming together, working toward a common goal, which involves making money. Now, what this means to us is that if we can integrate any or perhaps all of these main points about how companies make money into the way we make money, then we are putting ourselves in the correct mindset for how we'd like to approach the challenge of becoming financially free. So thank you all for listening, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next lecture.